Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last time we started the Temple of Time and got pretty much halfway through the dungeon, and with that, we're ready to go on and take on the mini-boss of this dungeon. And we're at the very top of the Temple of Time too. So once we do this, we actually have to make our way back down the dungeon, so we revisit pretty much every single room we just traversed through. Which I have a love-hate relationship for, because yes, while I like going through these rooms and being able to do more things with the item of this dungeon, I don't like trying to go back through areas I just completed. It's kind of annoying, but this is our mini-boss right here. We found the statue that was missing, but we got this big old guy guarding it. This is a Dark Nut. Mini-boss in this dungeon turns into a regular enemy afterwards, and trust me, Dark Nuts are not fun to deal with. One of the things I recommend you do is you wait for an opening and then you attack, but sometimes that's not the best strategy. One of the best ways to attack these guys without getting hurt is wait until they attack, move out of the way, and then just go ahead and start wailing on them. Sometimes it doesn't work. If you can go ahead and get a back slice onto them, I recommend doing that. Shooting attack doesn't really do much. But one of the best ways I found to take down Dark Nuts is this. Use a bomb arrow, aim for the feet, and fire. So they will block it at times, but if you get it just right, if I can get it just right, that is. There you go. It takes off their armor. I'm not going to be doing that for this fight because it is pretty cheap, but I do want to show that you can do that. So if you're having a hard time with this Dark Nut, then go ahead and just start using bomb arrows. But there we go. We got off all his armor. Once all the armor's off, they throw away their gigantic sword and start using a little one. But after that, they also get a lot faster and more nimble, so they will be a little more aggressive actually, ironically enough. They get a little more aggressive. But another cheap strategy I found to fight these guys is when they're in this form, once you get them stunned and you're able to attack them, then go ahead and just keep on just swinging your sword in one motion. Don't do any combos. Because if you do that just right, you can attack them as many times as you want, and it's pretty broken. And there you go. We beat ourselves a Dark Nut. Those are probably one of the hardest enemies in the game, if not the hardest, but that's pretty much all the strategies I've found that best suit the Dark Nuts. We'll be seeing a couple more of these guys later, so we'll be able to do more of those methods again. But now that he's done, we can go ahead and get ourselves the item of this dungeon. So let's see, what is this item? This is the item that Uku was talking about as a treasure from their people and whatnot, and it's the Dominion Rod. This rod here is able to control statues. Yeah, I know, it does sound out of this world now, doesn't it? Sounds like some really weird space technology or whatnot, you know, something that it's unheard of for Hyrule. So if you go ahead, aim at the statue up here, and then shoot your little glowing ball from the Dominion Rod into its stomach, it possesses the statue and you're able to control it. Think of it like the command melody from Wind Waker, where you're able to take control of the stone statues in the Tower of the Gods. It's pretty much just like that. You're able to control the statue, be able to hit the B button, be able to do a little hammer attack, and he moves in any direction you move. But before I leave, I just want to show, right in the center of the room, if you haven't noticed by now, is a big old medallion. That's a light medallion from Ocarina of Time. So that's a nice little homage to that game. But this whole entire temple is pretty much a big homage to the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. Whether it be its theme, the little areas like that, that's showing that it is a temple for the light spirit, or if it's just the music that plays in the plays at times, it does give a good homage to the original Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. So that's pretty nice. So now that we have control of the statue, we'll have to keep on putting it into these little bells in order to transfer it from room to room. It can't go through doors with you, but it can go ahead and transfer from room to room via these bell towers, which is kind of weird when you think about it, but it still works nonetheless. And one nice thing about this statue here is if you go ahead and use that little hammer attack on these big guys over here, they pretty much get killed in one hit. So it's wise to go ahead and use the hammer attack there from that statue against those little statues, since it's so easy to kill them with. Alright, now we got the statue up here. Let's go ahead and destroy the pot. Get our Dominion Rod once again. One thing about the stone statue is he can't really climb upstairs, but he can go ahead and climb downstairs really fast. What I want to do is I kind of want to separate myself from this guy a little bit more and hit the switch. There we go, got it. And let's go ahead and take control of this guy again. And now since we have the hammer attack from this guy, we can go ahead and actually destroy these little spiky platforms that are in the way. So that's very helpful. There's actually a hookshot point right above us here actually. Not really something you would use because for the most part here, you're going to be using the statue to traverse the area and whatnot. And when you're going through there the first time, you don't really have that much of a need to take the hookshot point since you do need both that small key and the and you also need to get like a pot or a statue or something. So it's something I don't really see myself using much, but as you just saw, if you attack yourself with that hammer by accident, it does do a good amount of damage, so be careful of that. But now you also see that not only can this Dominion Rod take control of this big old dude here, but it can also take control of the little statues, so that's pretty useful. You'll be using that from time to time in this dungeon, and that's how we're going to be able to get ourselves the 2 heart pieces that are here, as well as getting ourselves the pose that are around this area too. In fact, I actually forgot to pull up my little Poe list really quick, so while that statue's appearing, I want to get to it. Alright, but one of the things I want to do first is before taking that statue with us, I want to grab myself the hookshot. And, oh wait, no, I don't want to do that just yet. Wait a minute. I want to come over here first. And I want to actually hookshot my way to the top here. That's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I'm too low in this portion, so I need myself another statue, I guess. Oh, it's the wrong statue. I want the one next to it. There you go. Oh, wait, that's not what... well, I'm making things harder on myself. I want to actually have the other one weighed down so these will be equal. Instead, I go ahead and screw that up entirely. Let's try this... Really? As I was saying, let's try this again, shall we? Take my hookshot and hit the top. Oh, come on, I still can't hit it. Gotta get pretty close to this point, which is kind of ridiculous, but at least I got to it. This is required, by the way. I'm not doing this just because I want to get stuff that's out of the way. No, you actually do have to come up here. There is a Poe actually on this upper area as well, so that does help us out. But the boss key is actually up here too, so we need to go ahead and do this even if we weren't going for the Poe. Alright, so come on down here, buddy. Come on. Come on. There you go. Let me just take the Poe soul, and I'll be on my way. Okay, so into this room. This is where our boss key is. There's 2 treasure chests, but the one here on the bottom floor is the only one you really have to be concerned with, since that is what we're actually in here for. But I will get the one on the top anyway. I will get the one on top anyways. My voice doesn't crack while I'm speaking. Jeez. Don't know why I have the voice cracks at times like that. And come on, hit the statue. There you go. Took so many more bombs than needed. Probably next time I'm in Kakariko, I'll just get myself some more bombs anyways, just because I'm pretty low and I want to keep my bomb bag filled up. Actually, this is the one playthrough where I don't have as many bombs as I usually do. I usually have a lot more than what I actually have on me. 1 water bomb and 1 normal bomb and a lot of bombings. I never use bombings, so that's saying something there. The 1 bomb I never use, I have the most of. What you want to do in this room is after you kill these enemies in the bottom, you actually want to take your hookshot and grab the helmets of the other enemies, because you need to have 4 statues here in order to weigh down these switches, but they only give you 2. And since you use a hookshot to pull up those 2 helmets, that gives you the 4 weights that you need. That puzzle actually tricked me out the first time I was playing because I didn't know that you can go ahead and use a hookshot to pull up those helmets. I thought for sure that you had to do something else, like maybe somehow bring up a pot or find some other statues, but no. You actually have to use the helmets. I do like that. But there we go, now we got ourselves the big key, or as I always call it, the boss key, so we're good to go. Now we can actually continue on with the rest of the dungeon itself. So before getting that big guy over here again, we actually kind of need to grab ourselves a handful of these statues on this top area here. That is if I don't miss my shot. We need to pull a handful of these guys down because when we try to take this stone statue that we have across, he's going to be a little too heavy. And because of that, we kind of need to balance out the weight a little more, and these guys here will be how we'll balance out the weight. So I'm going to put these guys pretty close to the ledge so I can use my Dominion Rod when needed. I think that'll probably be the best idea. There we go. I just gotta grab this. Throw it over here. And grab both of these guys and throw them back over. This will take you some time, and this is the one part of the dungeon I don't really enjoy much because it does take a long time to do all this just to get the statue down with you. But besides that, it's really not all too bad. Just have some patience with it and you should be fine. So let's just weigh this down so we get the guy back over here. And actually, wait a minute. I'm gonna pull him over a little more. There we go. Oh yeah, that's right. I kinda can't do anything because that being raised up now. Now since we already killed all these guys earlier because of the fact that I wanted to get that treasure chest, we don't have to worry about killing them now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and skip it all. So we're gonna have to take these statues, throw them on here, and you just need 4, looks like. If you're standing on it, you would need 5 of these things on there, but since we're not standing on this thing, it's less, so that's good. And really, how did that miss? There you go, got it. Now as you see, we gotta do all that again, because now this guy doesn't want to try to jump. It's too bad this statue can't jump, because if it could, this section would be entirely pointless. Mostly because then you just jump off the guardrails. You wouldn't have to even deal with the scale, you'll just walk off the side of it. I really wish we could have done that, but oh well. What are you gonna do? So that's the last statue. And let's go ahead and take control of this big guy again. And there you go. All done with that. All done with that part finally. My voice keeps on cracking. Don't know why it keeps on cracking like that when I don't want it to, but that's a voice for you. Oh geez, so many spiders gathering around me. It's a good thing I don't have arachnophobia. If I did, then I would not enjoy that part at all. I would hate it so much. Alright, so now, this room here, we've been in here before with the little gimmick of swapping back and forth these walls, but now that we have the stone statue, we can destroy these walls at will. And we actually have to have this guy stand on the switch here if you want to go ahead and get the heart piece. So let's destroy that. And I kind of want to push him on the wall a little bit and have him walk through here again. There you go. He can go ahead and walk through the electricity just fine, but you can't. And with that heart piece, I got a phone call, so I gotta mute my mic. Alright, sorry about that, guys, but there we go. We got ourselves a new heart container from that, so at least that's a plus. Minus was phone call making me sit there for a couple minutes. It's not that big of a deal. But go ahead and put that statue on there, and we will be ready to go. And there's still one more heart piece we need to get in this dungeon, so that would be good. We'll have ourselves a good amount of heart pieces all collected. Feels good to have another heart container in here, though. That's always the one thing I did like when I was in these dungeons and I get a heart container. My heart, oh, really? Could you just stop firing your lasers on me? Thank you, buddy. As I was saying, it's nice how your maximum life energy does increase in a dungeon. That never really happens for the most part in a Zelda game. It can happen from time to time, but you never really see it happen for the most part. But let me get back on the game itself. If you go ahead and use the hammer attack from this big guy, you can go ahead and destroy those statues that fire their lasers at you. So that is very helpful. It makes it so much easier if you didn't go ahead previously and use an arrow to stun him. But before we go ahead and get the big guy there and continue on with the dungeon itself, I need to go back down to the bottom floor here. And actually, wait a minute, let me turn it the other way. I wanted to do. Right? No, I was right the first time. Well, I'm going to use the big guy instead then. What I was going to do is I was going to go down to the bottom floor and get that little statue again. Because I want to go back to the one room in this area that gave us a small key. But because of the fact that I went to where the big guy was instead, I'll just use him as my second weight. I didn't mean for that to happen, but hey. This statue will make things a little easier on me. Because for one, I will get myself killed by accident if I'm not careful. But for one, I can go ahead and destroy these little spinners around the area, making things easier on me. And two, he works just as well as one of those statues, so it doesn't really matter in the end. I think you might run a little faster without one of these guys above your head, but it doesn't really matter. I'll carry the statue. I'm not really concerned on how fast I run. And wow, that looked really funny. Link's trying to grab air. That's just hilarious to see. But as you see, as we come back in this room, there's a lot more enemies in here now. So let's just go ahead and take them all out. And this time I'll just go ahead and go the hookshot route, since that will be more efficient. And I don't want to attack the big spider with a hookshot. No, I don't want the big spider. That's the one thing I don't like about this method. Your targeting system will go with whatever, whatever? Really? Bad grammar. The lock-on system will go with whatever enemy is around you. So if one of those bigger spiders come around you, well, you're going to have to either get off them for your targeting system, or you're just going to have to go ahead and kill them. And that spider actually looked kind of funny before killing it. It looked like it was wagging its backside like a dog. Wagging its tail. It's like, I want to play, I want to play. Well, here's how I want to play. Death. Oh, well, that was a fail. What you want to do here is you want to take these stone statues and throw them over the bars here, because you want to go ahead and take control of it with the Dominion Rod, walk it down to the end, and let it land down here, because there are switches down on the ends, and the only way you'll be able to hit them is by using these statues here and controlling them with the Dominion Rod. Luckily, they put one on the other side for you, so that makes things a little easier, but you do have to go ahead and throw one up from the other side. Not that big of a deal, mind you, so that gets us in our heart piece. Before getting that, I do want to check what's in this treasure chest above. I'm betting you it's a 20 rupee. Hey, I'm right. I had a big feeling that that was going to be 20. They usually don't put 50 rupees in a very small treasure chest like that. If it's a big rupee, then it's going to be something like red. But there you go, that's in our heart piece, ready to go. And let me see, what's in some of these pots? Arrows? I'll take it. Alright, but now back to actually getting this big statue here back to the main part of the room. Main part of the room. No. Main part of the dungeon. Main part of the room. We'll pretty much be putting him right here on the elevator. We're putting him on the main part of the room. Alright, let's just get ready to take control of him again. I usually like getting near this guy before taking control, because closer you are to him, the better at times, especially for something like this. But do you guys remember the bottom part of this elevator section? It had a lot of spiders in it. Well, now we're going to go ahead and kill all those spiders, and we're going to use our stone statue friend here to do it. It's more advised to go ahead and wait until you have this big guy for this section, because using him makes short work of these little spiders. Since you can get so many of these guys at once with a hammer swipe, it's just so satisfying. Although a lot of times I'll find myself getting kind of in the radius of the hammer, getting hit by it anyway, so it can be a good thing to use this guy, and then it can be a bad thing, depending on where you're standing. And I think we got, yeah, a good chunk of them. We just have a handful of these spiders left. And that should do it. Apparently not. If I got all the spiders, then I would have go ahead and walked through the electric gate, but apparently that's not the case. There you go. It's always the one straggler. It's always that one. Let's go ahead and destroy this guy here. Ah! Spiders! Spiders! Where'd they all come from? Jeez. At first, that really did freak me out because I wasn't expecting the stone statue to be holding hundreds of spiders. So that guy, I don't recommend destroying. I just want to show that off in case you actually did go ahead and destroy it. But before going on, what you can do with the statue here is you can go ahead and use this hammer to destroy these gates. Before doing that, I recommend going ahead and hitting this gate. Yes, you can go ahead and use those stone statues above and push them down to hit that one switch that was behind the gate, because that opens it up. But it just makes it easier if you go ahead and actually destroy the gate with the stone statue. That's what I usually do, and that's why I usually recommend the others if they're stumped on this part. At first I actually thought this was a missable Poe because I didn't know that you can go ahead and hit the switch, and apparently Link tried to hit the switch while trying to grab a Poe soul. That was kind of weird. But I didn't know at first you can actually use those stone statues to hit that switch, and you can go ahead and open up the gate. I always thought that you actually had to go and use the stone statue to break the gate open. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to get that Poe. It's gonna be missed. It's kind of a good thing they do that, because if you're like me and your first time playing and you don't hit that gate because that's not one of the first things that comes to mind, and you want to get that Poe, well, you kind of out of luck at that rate if that was the only way of getting it. And before doing anything else, I just want to go ahead and kill that guy just because. Alright. Let's get this guy all the way down these stairs. I love how he like increases speed dramatically going down the stairs. It looks kind of funny, really. And just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and destroy this gate. Don't really need to, but I just felt like doing it just because. Alright, so that should have been the last time we actually have to go ahead and put that stone statue in a bell. And we should be back in the entrance here to Temple of Time. Once I get to the boss room, we're going to go ahead and call it quits, because this episode's already long enough. I kind of lost track of the time a bit. Haven't been looking over my timer. Plus, sitting here for a little bit while I was on the phone, that kind of dragged out the recording a little bit too, but it's not that big of a deal. It'll just take me a little longer to go ahead and edit and render this video, which I won't mind much while it's rendering. I could probably just go ahead and do something else. That's what I usually do. I'll let my desktop render and I'll go ahead and either play a game, watch something, or I'll just do something else on my laptop. But there we go. Now that we have the two statues in this room, this doorway opens itself up, and now we are able to go ahead and traverse to the boss room. This room's kind of tricky at first. It feels like an Indiana Jones trap now thinking about it. There's so many hazards around here that can kill you. It's not even funny. And I always think of Indiana Jones when I get to this room. It might just be me, but it just looks like a big Indiana Jones trap when you think about it. What you need to do here is you need to put a statue right on that switch, then take control of it with the Dominion Rod again, and then walk it off. I usually just walk it off to the cliff just because then I move forward with the gate so I don't miss it. But you can probably just walk them off to the side and it'll be just fine. And no, I don't need a fairy, so I'm good to go. I'll go ahead and absorb it though. Or not, because I'm at full health. I forgot you can't do that if you're at full health. Alright, so now with that all done, and we're at the boss room here, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So, next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we're going to go ahead and take on the boss of the Temple of Time. I'll see you guys next time.